In this video, we're going over the new best settings to use here in Black Ops 6 Season 2. If you are drastically trying to improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, you came to the right place. As you can see, I play with an Xbox Elite controller on PC with one paddle on the back, the short paddle set up for jumping. These settings are going to work no matter what controller you are playing with and also no matter what console you are playing on, so keep that in mind. I got you covered. Now for the button layout, even though I play with a controller with a paddle on the back, tactical is still going to be the best, allowing you to perform a drop shot and go to prone by pressing down on the right thumbstick. This is going to be allowing you to also stay aimed down sight and be accurate when drop shotting, so you're going to be a lot more deadly at those close and medium ranges. Because of the Omni movement, this is going to be very important because you're going to be able to truly take advantage of the advanced movement and outgun players a lot easier. Now, what you also want to do is adjust your horizontal as well as your vertical stick sensitivity. You can see that I play on a 1.6, which is roughly going to be a 6 sensitivity. Now, I always recommend players to play within that 4 to 6 sensitivity window because it's going to be fast enough that you can turn on other players, but also not fast enough to where it's going to be uncontrollable at those longer ranges, because in my personal opinion, it's a lot harder to take somebody out across the map versus somebody that is close to you. So if you want to play within this 4 to 6 sensitivity window, I recommend playing within that 1.2 to 1.6 area and fine tuning within that. It's going to allow you to be a lot more accurate, but at the same time, you're not going to be stuck in the mud. There is no reason to play on a crazy high sensitivity here in Black Ops 6 when the whole focus is being accurate and hitting your shots chest up to get the fastest time to kill. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any additional changes. My controller vibration is going to be turned off. I personally like to turn vibration off because I don't want to have any unnecessary play in my controller. This is going to be a setting that you're going to shut off and literally never turn back on, or something you actually like to have. I personally don't, and you might want to go ahead and keep it. It's going to be personal preference. And for the dead zones, I'm going to go ahead and showcase mine. These are going to be pretty much what your controller health is, so not everybody's dead zone is going to be the same, but I want to go ahead and showcase that for you guys in this video as well. And by the way, if you need help leveling up your weapons, U4GM has you covered. They offer services such as max leveling all of your weapons, as well as unlocking camo challenges all the way up to dark matter. They even have COD points gift packs that you can give to your friends. So for cheap, reliable, and fast Black Ops 6 services on all platforms, use code EARS to save 5% off. Link is at the top of the description. Now, under the aimings tab, there are some very important settings you must adjust. Once you go ahead and expand on the sensitivity multiplier, you must go down to your multiplier as well as your multiplier for focusing. This is going to be set to 0.7. You want to make sure it's set to 0.7 because it's going to allow you to have less stick play with your right thumbstick when you are trying to take people out at those longer ranges. This is going to be a drastic improvement for your long range capability because, again, like I said previously, I feel that most people are struggling with long range combat. This is going to be set at 1.0 by default. Make sure you guys go ahead and make this adjustment. Now, look inversion is going to be on standard. Your aiming advanced settings here, once you go ahead and actually open this up, you can see here there are some settings that you do want to go ahead and adjust, and you want to make sure your ADS sensitivity, transition, and timing is going to be on instant. This is going to be really important because if you don't have this on instant, there is going to be a delay and it's going to completely throw you off for close range, medium range, as well as long range gunfight. Make sure this is on instant. Sometimes it's set to gradual. You don't want that to happen. Now, third person ADS correction type, you can just keep this at assist. You don't have to really adjust this. For your aim assist response curve type, I like to go ahead and keep mine on standard. The reason I keep mine on standard is because at a moment's notice, they can go ahead and adjust the aim and accuracy parameters here in Black Ops 6. They did it when the game first came out. They did it in Modern Warfare 3. And the worst thing you want to have happen is load up the game after an update or a random update that goes live and have to relearn how to aim and be accurate at those longer ranges. It's incredibly annoying. So as a safety precaution, I always recommend playing on standard. It's going to be your best bet, so you're not waking up one day and completely out the loop. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments. Now, for your target aim assist, obviously this is going to be turned on. For your motion sensor behavior, this is going to be obviously turned off. And for these settings here, you don't want to make any adjustments as well. Now, for your movement, I do go ahead and play on tactical sprint assist. I like to go ahead and have this turned on just so it's going to be a lot more smooth when I'm trying to transition from position to position, and also it's one less button to press, which is a massive W. And once you do go ahead and enable this setting, I do recommend having your sprint assist delay put to 0. Again, this is going to be a setting that sometimes there is a value here. If you do have a value, you want to have it at 0, so there is 0 delay. If you don't put this at 0, you are going to feel a delay coming from a tactical sprint, which is going to be incredibly annoying. Everything else here, I personally go ahead and turn off. The reason I turn this off is because I do not want to have any unnecessary movement that I'm not intentionally trying to do throw me off my game. And also for your slide dive behavior, I recommend having this on hybrid. The reason I go ahead and put it on hybrid again is because I do not want to accidentally be dolphin diving or sliding when I don't want to. Sometimes it does happen because of the omni movement, and if it does happen when you don't want it to happen, it's a guaranteed loss in the gunfight unless you get incredibly lucky. So just to prevent that from happening, I go ahead and have mine on hybrid just so I have full control. And everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments. And for the combat settings, the only thing that I went ahead and adjusted here is I have my C4 detonation on 1 by 1, just so I don't have to throw down both of them at the same time to fully go ahead and blow them up. But again, everything else here is the same. I've not made any other adjustments for the combat settings. Now, for the graphics settings, the most important tab to take a look at is going to be view. Your motion reduction preset is going to be turned off. For your FOV, I always recommend playing on the 100 to 120 FOV range. This is going to allow you to have a bigger picture. And also, when you do couple this with the affected ADS field of view, it's going to mirror your ADS with whatever optic or iron sight weapon you're running. So it's going to be allowing you to essentially have less visual recoil. If you're ever wondering how other players, YouTubers, streamers have no recoil on their weapons, it's because we're playing between that 100 to 120 FOV range with the ADS field of view set to affected. It's going to make things a lot easier, especially at those medium to longer ranges. This is going to be a setting that you're going to make an adjustment and see an immediate improvement to your gameplay, and that's going to be a massive W. Do this right now. For your weapon field of view, I go ahead and have this at default. In all reality, this is going to be personal preference. Default is just going to be what I like to have it set to. Everything else here is going to be the same. I do not recommend making any other adjustments, but what you must do is you must turn off your world motion blur as well as your weapon motion blur. If you do not shut these off, your game is going to have a ridiculously annoying haze on it, which is going to be difficult to see people at those longer ranges, especially if they're in darker corners. So make sure these are turned off. And I also recommend putting your first person camera movement at 50%, just in case an explosion goes off or anything on screen. It's not going to completely shake your screen uncontrollably. This is going to make sure things are a lot easier to handle. So definitely go ahead and make this adjustment. It is on 100 by default, which is something you don't want to do. Everything else here is going to be the same, except that I do have inverted flashbang turned on. This is just a personal preference because flashbangs are crazy, smoke grenades are crazy, and the less annoying things on my screen, it's just going to be a lot easier to go ahead and handle. So these are to me the settings I do recommend changing under the view category. Not that many. Now for the audio settings, they don't call me ears for nothing, man. We are going to make some adjustments. For your master game volume, I like to go ahead and have this at 100% just so I can hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier. For gameplay music, I have this turned down to 30. You can probably tell in this video, it's not blasting. It sounds good, but sometimes it just gets a little too much. Now, what you do want to do is make sure you have your audio mix set to headphones bass boost. If you have a headset that you've picked up within the last 7 years, you're going to be good to go. I have Astro A40TR headsets. These are dinosaur grade, but they work great. You can hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier. And with headphones bass boost, it's going to be amplified even more. So even if there isn't a UAV up or an advanced UAV up, I can still hear people, hear their footsteps, hear their gunfire, and position myself accordingly on the map. This is definitely a great setting to have on. Everything else here is going to be pretty much the same. I've not made any other adjustments. The only thing I have made adjustments is under the voice chat, and obviously for my microphone mode, I have it at push to talk, because imagine if I was doing this in game, commentating, making a video, it would be ridiculously annoying. So that's why I have this set to push to talk. Again, everything else here is going to be really important to either keep the same or adjust. If you have a headset, headphones, bass boost, it's definitely going to be the way to go. And finally, for the interface settings, the only tab we're going to make adjustments under is going to be the gameplay HUD. Now, for the multiplayer HUD preset, I have this set to standard. This is honestly going to be personal preference, but I feel like this is going to be the easiest to read and interpret. But what you do want to go ahead and do is adjust your mini-map shape to square. This is incredibly important, because not only is square going to give you a bigger picture, it's also going to be a lot easier to read and interpret the mini-map. And if you want a video here in Black Ops 6 Season 2 where I go over how you can read and interpret the mini-map and judge traffic flow and honestly discover what people are going to be spawning at a lot easier and faster, let me know down in the comment section. I can definitely go ahead and provide that this season. Now, that's going to be it under the interface settings. Everything else here is going to be the same. I do not recommend going ahead and making any other adjustments. These are going to be the absolute best settings to run here in Black Ops 6 Season 2. Make sure you guys go ahead and adjust your horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity so you can be playing within the right sensitivity window, so you can drastically improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill. If these settings do help you out, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces. Hopefully these help out.